The U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter confirms the United States conducted naval operations inside a 12 nautical mile zone around islands in the South China Sea. They are claimed by China, and the action drew immediate condemnation from Beijing. China is accusing the U.S. of provocation, threatening Chinese sovereignty and taking sides in territorial disputes in the South China Sea. CCTV's Nathan King is following the developments from our newsroom. He joins us now. Nathan.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike. The United States says it's just conducting freedom of navigation exercises in international waters. But China and some other nations in the region see a calculated escalation by the U.S.
We have said, and we are acting on the basis of saying that we will fly, sail, and operate wherever international law permits.
Did we send a destroyer yesterday inside the 12-mile zone of one of the...
that. There have been naval operations in that region in recent days.
The U.S. Defense Secretary did not provide much in the way of details, but actions speak louder than words. And after months of hints, the guided missile destroyer USS Larsen passed into disputed waters off a small island called Zhubijiao by China or Subi Reef by the U.S. The islet and others have seen significant land build-up over the past couple of years. The U.S. says because it's now essentially a man-made island, it's not subject to the normal 12 nautical mile limit permitted under international law. Reaction from China has been swift and strong. China summoned the U.S. ambassador to China, Max Baucus, to officially complain. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi issued this statement, saying, "We advise the U.S. to think again and before acting, and not act blindly or make trouble out of nothing." And China's Navy spokesman said China will protect its rights in the area, saying, quote, "The Chinese Navy will resolutely perform duties and missions to unswervingly safeguard national sovereignty, maritime rights and interests, and peace and stability in the South China Sea." In response, China moved two of its ships into the area, the Langzhou missile destroyer and the Taizhou patrol vessel, which followed the U.S. warship as it made its way through the disputed territory. U.S. allies, Japan and the Philippines, both supported the U.S. actions, saying the operation was in international waters and so therefore should not be seen as provocative. The U.S. vows the patrols will continue, and other nations, including Japan and Australia, may join in. But some countries, including ASEAN member Cambodia, see the action as provocative, saying the U.S. is not an involved party in the South China Sea disputes and is creating more tension. Now, the heart of this dispute, different interpretations of maritime rights. Under international law, the U.S. says that nations cannot declare limits around islands that were once submerged at high tide. China, however, says its sovereignty and historical claims are paramount when it comes to the law of the sea, a convention, Mike, which China, by the way, has ratified and the U.S. has not.